Hi, my name is Curtis Thomas. I'm the owner and president of Warrior Plumbing, and I am a Red Seal plumber and a B-level gas fitter. My skills trades journey started back in 2002, I believe. At that time, it was called ITA, and I'm from the Tsleil-Waututh Nation here in North Vancouver, British Columbia, and our nation has been dabbling in economic development for going on 30 years. And so, my nation was developing our lands to try to create economic prosperity for our people. And along with that development came opportunity. And so for me, I struggled through high school. And came out of high school not really having the opportunity to go to academia or university or anything like that. And so at the young age of 22, my late uncle Leonard George approached me and asked me what I was doing and what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I didn't really have an answer for him. So he asked me if I was interested in any of the construction trades and had I thought about that, and pointed out the opportunity that came along with our people sacrificing their land to build and develop market housing. And he just said, we work with every trade in the books over here at these development projects when we get into the construction phase. And if there's anything that you think you may be interested in, please let me know, and I'd love to connect you with the subcontractor or the contractor who's currently working within our community. And at that time, I didn't have an answer for him. But I said, thank you, Uncle. I appreciate that. And we parted ways. And so, like it was meant to be, a couple weeks later, I ran into an acquaintance, an older cousin of mine, who was the first journeyman Indigenous plumber that I had met in my life. And he was just got his Red Seal and was moving down to Washington to work in casinos and was going to be making good American money. And we had a quick conversation about plumbing, and I started asking him questions. What do you like about it? Tell me more. And I remember one thing that stuck out to me was like, he said, I got a roof over my head most days and I'm working in a dry building. And so a light bulb went off in my head, and I went back to my uncle and I said, hey, Uncle, I think I want to be a plumber. And so he introduced me to a company who was working in our community at that time called Ocean Park Mechanical. And Ocean Park Mechanical, they employed me for 6 years, right through my whole apprenticeship and even in my journeyman ticket. So my nation at that time had an employment and training center, and so I worked with them to get into my different levels of technical training. And so there's a company called Access. They sponsor Indigenous tradespeople, and they worked with my nation's training and employment center to sponsor me and provide me funding to navigate through that skilled trades and ITA process. And I attended BCIT for all my levels of technical training, levels 1, 2, 3, and 4, to eventually write my Red Seal. And I got my Red Seal and continued to work for Ocean Park. So I started my own plumbing company in March of 2010. And basically, I had worked for Ocean Park Mechanical for 6 years. In my last 2 years, I worked in a project in Whistler, and that project was coming to an end. I got laid off for the first time in my career, December of 2009. I'm very lucky, I think, that, my network of friends are in construction, and most of them were doing carpentry or starting to do general contracting, and I happened to be the only plumber within our network. So I started picking up small projects right away. Actually, as soon as I moved back from Whistler into Vancouver, I started working away, and within 3 months I had an opportunity to go out of town for some work, the biggest contract to date, $30,000 to $40,000. And my friend and contractor, Joe from Nikon Contracting, he said, Curtis, you got to go start your business. And I said, I don't know. And he he kind of pushed me to do it. He said, "What are you worried about? So you're already doing it. So let's go make it official. Go register your business." And I did, because I didn't want to miss out on that opportunity to go up to Haida Gwaii and renovate some BC housing homes, two in Masson and two in Charlotte. So March of 2010, I went into the Chamber of Commerce and I registered myself as a sole proprietor under the working name of Warrior Plumbing. And we haven't looked back. It's been quite the journey, and organically hiring one staff every year for the last 13 years, and we've seen some significant growth this year in 2023. We're up to 20 staff. So to me, it's like, what do I like most about working with the youth is, for me, and I say this humbly, but to be able to be a role model for them, and to really, do my part in planting that seed in their heads, in their minds, that they too can be a journeyman plumber, a journey person plumber. And, if they want to start their own business, then we'd be happy to help them. But I think really just being able to provide opportunities to our people. And, the younger the better. We want these people to be successful the earliest they can. And so 4 years is quite fast in our lifetime, and 4 years is all it takes right now to get your Red Seal certifications. So we encourage youth, and we look for youth. And I think that's what I enjoy the most from a high level, is just being able to be a role model, be a mentor, and provide opportunities. There's a little more hand-holding, if I'm being honest, but that's okay. I was very lucky to work with very patient people throughout my plumbing journey, and they instilled those values in me. So we are patient, and we want people to succeed. But I just think there's a different way to communicate with today's youth than the way I was communicated with 20 years ago. There's three things that we tell new staff that we can't teach them, and they have to bring it with them. It has to come from inside them, and it's like a good work ethic. So working hard every day, that's one. Two is a positive attitude. We spend more hours on the job with our work team than we do at home and with our family. And so a positive attitude is really important. And the other thing is just like showing up on time every day. So those three things will allow, I think, any person to be successful. A good work ethic, a positive attitude, and showing up on time every day. If we can teach the kids those three basic principles, it doesn't matter what industry they're in, they will do great. Because we feel like in our small company, we have the ability to teach them everything else. But those are kind of three things that have to be in that person. Yeah, my advice would be, it's allowed me a very comfortable life, and I would try different things. There's some really good opportunity locally with the local land developments here in Vancouver. I think we're in this unique market where, unfortunately, there's a big housing shortfall. And so we're trying to catch up to meet that demand, and I think we won't ever catch up in the near future. So there should be a really stable future for people in construction, and don't be afraid to just try things, I think. And if you ever are working for a company and they're not treating you right, then don't stay there. I think you will be in a good position to find work and find the right people to work with, who will be patient with you and who will teach you, and who will treat you right. Parents and not just parents, society, there's a stigma around construction workers, and that we're rough and rough around the edges, and it doesn't provide a good career. But and the reality, and my reality is, I'm pretty clean cut. I'm pretty well spoken. I don't swear too often, and I've been able to create a good life for myself and my family now. I have two young kids, and so everything I do within my business is changed. Now it's all about them. So I think we need to encourage our young people to get into construction, and that construction is a great industry to work in and to be able to provide for our families. And let's get past it. Let's stop talking poorly about our construction workers as we're building the cities that we all live in.